Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review for The Mighty Thor issue 20, and this was a really good issue. It really had great artwork in it, showing the events going on with like light and dark, and really showing people's facial expressions, and also advancing what's going on with the War of the Realms. So this starts off in the land and the realm of the dwarves, Nidavellir, and it shows that Solomon and Volstagg and the representative for the Light Elves has come to kind of see what's going on. And of course the king can't meet with them at the moment because him and the rest of the dwarves are preparing in the forges, making weapons for war. And they're taken to the Light Elves refugee camp, seeing everybody just shell-shocked on what's going on and seeing the kids needing food and everything. And of course, their kind of dwarven representative is explaining that they don't have much food. They usually would get it from the White Elves trading because they got ore and all that. So they're having trouble trying to feed these people. And of course, Volstagg's got this giant thing of food on his back, and he's like, oh, he brought it for a snack for himself, but then he starts giving it out to the children and everything. It's like, oh, okay. And then, of course, bam, out of nowhere, bombs start going off, and we start seeing what's going on because we see the destruction of the Light Elf representative, and we find out later on that he was turned to dust, and it's Muspelheim fire. It's like, oh shit, they're starting their attacks and everything. And then we get to see Jane talking to the Odinson, and of course Thor's like, you've been like going off with with that hammer and everything and showing off and all that. This is for my dalliances when we were together and all that. But Jane was like, no, it's because I think that you should have heard it from me. I know you stormed off with your goat and all that. And of course, his hell dog's like, can I murder her a little bit? And he's like, no, down dog. And she starts explaining kind of why she's doing it. She wants to tell someone she knew she should have told him before, and trying to like get him to understand what's kind of going through her mind, explaining that I understand why you kept Thanos and the Collector from going after this other Mjolnir. And she's afraid of lifting up Mjolnir again because her cancer is advanced to such a point that she's afraid she'll never put it down. That she'll either die because of the cancer or she will let herself be consumed as the goddess of thunder. And that's a pretty cool character development and choice for Jane. Will she choose to die as herself, or will she let herself die and become the goddess of thunder, Thor? That's a pretty big and weighty decision for her, and I'm like, that's pretty cool. And also seeing the Odinson kind of like hearing her out with this, and of course we see her Mjolnir come, and she's like, the war continues. Nidavellir, and he's like, it talks to you? It's like, I kind of like that they put that aspect in there, probably to see that, just give more depth to Mjolnir and all that, and kind of see the Odinson's reactions. And then, of course, as Jane tries to go to the hammer, she collapses, and the Odinson tries to help her. And that's just in the Odinson's nature to be kind of pissed off with that kind of thing. And it's not really being pissed off really at Jane that much, just at himself for being unworthy and all the stuff that he's done to her, and that it proves that she's worthy to wield the hammer and all that. It's just kind of like in his character to go angry first. Of course, we've seen that he's the son of Odin. Odin is not the most level-headed person. But then again, Thor is more level-headed than him, and he's been kind of being built out to be that way. So it's like, okay, what's going to be happening with Jane? Is she going to, how is she going to pick it, or how is this going to play out for her in the end? Because Jane's going to die either way. It'll be interesting to see how it happens. So we get back to seeing what's going on in Nidavellir, and we've seen that Volstagg is trying to lead the children to safety, and one of the riders from Muspelheim crashes and throws one of the firefly maggots and kills the children. And this sends Volstagg into a rage, and he goes after the rider. And of course, as they're trying to figure out what's going on and who's alive, Solomon and the rest of the group find Volstagg, and we see this narration that, like, nothing can really survive Muspelheim fire. Except, of course, like, this goblin blood. And we see Volstagg covered in it because he completely destroyed the rider that was riding the fly that was dropping all those maggot bombs and everything. He beat and just pulverized and was covered in the blood. And we see the narration that he's still burning. And then we start to see him go back to, of course, old Asgard, which is where Jane and Odin's son was talking. And he hasn't been eating, he hasn't been talking to his wife and his children and everything. And something has been calling out to him, that there needs to be a Thor in the times, and that these fires and everything can only be drowned out in blood. And he lifts the ultimate Mjolnir and becomes War Thor. It's like, holy shit, that's a pretty cool development. It's like, wow, because Volstagg has normally been played as kind of like a comedic relief kind of character. Yes, he does have extreme battle prowess, but he's always kind of played more for less. This is kind of a really cool development, being War Thor and having the power of Thor and see what he's going to do. Now, I know he's going to probably be very much more aggressive than like the Odin son or, of course, Jane's Thor. But I still believe that they will work together to try and do this. Having 3 Thors together, Malekith is going to have his work cut out for him. Granted, he's probably going to have some interesting plans and all that, but he's got 3 Thors and a Loki on his ass, so we'll kind of have to see how that works out. So those are my opinions on the issue. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.